Nothing will crush a real estate investor's spirit like landlord stress. The difference between being successful and miserable in managing properties is education. Welcome to Landlord University, where landlords learn. Landlord University is recorded from inside the RentPrep office, where Stephen White and Jeff Pearson share the lessons learned from working with some of the most successful landlords.
Welcome to Landlord University Night School. I'm Jeff Pearson, and this is my co-host,
Stephen White.
Hello, Stephen. How are you this evening?
Pretty good, Jeff. So we're talking about finding a tenant's new address after they leave. That's going to be the title, but I think more appropriately is after they have vacated or abandoned the property, because that's usually the case. You know, you get a tenant who up and leaves in the middle of the night, and they stick you with some past due rent or maybe some damage that's due, or money that the security deposit didn't cover damages, and now you are searching around and looking for them, trying to find these people. Where are they? I need an address to be able to send a bill to. I need an address to be able to serve them if you're trying to get a judgment or execute on a judgment. So we definitely get a lot of calls from landlords that ask us, how do I find my tenant now? They're gone and I don't know where they are. So there's a couple of different things that you can do. If you did a good job on the application process, and something that we talk about a lot here and preach a lot, is having a no blank space policy. And we've said before how important the application process is, not just for the screening process in the beginning, but afterwards, after they're gone. A lot of times the application can hold a lot of information that will help you collect on a past due balance or track that person down. One of the things that we've talked about too has been personal references. Personal reference does you no good in the screening process. You're not going to call a friend or somebody's mom and say, what type of a renter are they? Because they're going to give you a glowing review, or, they're going to tell you exactly what you would expect to hear. So personal references aren't too important in the screening process. But after that person's gone, I promise you that mom knows where they're living, or that best friend knows where they're living, or can at least point you in the right direction, or get a message to that person for you. So having that information is critical long after they've provided it to you.
Right.
So another thing that you can do, obviously, we've talked about using technology to your advantage. There's some free sites out there that do like an address search. They're not always super accurate, so you can run them through Google, see what you can find. But the most effective thing that I have seen work is using good old-fashioned mail service. And here's how you use it. I always tell landlords, send them a bill and send it to the address that you were renting to them from. So it would be a previous address at this point. They've moved on, they've left, they've moved somewhere else. When the post office gets that letter, they're going to return it back to you and say that this person isn't here anymore. Or they're going to forward it to their new address based on what the post office has in the system as the new address for that person. Well, one of the best ways to get good information on what the post office has is right under the stamp, where on the top right-hand corner of the envelope, right under the stamp, you want to put in very clear letters. So on the right-hand side, front of the envelope, very clear so the mailman can see it, you want to put the words address, service, requested. Those 3 words. And what that does is that prompts the mail carrier to recognize this person is not here anymore. And instead of just simply returning it, slapping a sticker on it that says return to sender, or on the other side of things, forwarding it on and you don't know where it was forwarded to, what'll happen is the mail carrier takes that back to their hub. They research where that person is, and they will provide a notice to the return address, so your address that you would put as your return address. You'll get a little card in the mail that tells you the address, or the mail was forwarded, and here is where it was forwarded to. And so they'll give you that person's new address if you ask for it. And a lot of people don't use it or don't know about it, aren't aware of it. I've learned it and picked it up in the different businesses that I've been a part of, and it works phenomenal. And I think the most I've ever seen the post office charge, because of course some of them do charge, is 99 cents. So for a buck, it's going to give you a really good address search, basically.
That's great.
Yeah, and it's again, it's you're getting somebody to handle it, look at it for you, and do the research. That mail carrier is ultimately the one who's initiating that. So again, make it really clear on the right hand side: address, service, requested. I think if you go to Office Depot or Office Max, whatever's in your area, they even have uh, rubber stamps that have that on there. We used to have one here that had it, address, service requested, and we would stamp every single envelope with it. That way, if anything was returned, if we get, we sent an invoice to a client or whatever, we got their new address. Nice and easy. You get the card in the mail and you can update your information, update your system. So for landlords, that's a nice little hack there to be able to track the people down.
Yes, it is.
So aside from that, again, good old fashioned phone calls. If you have that application in front of you, don't be afraid to make the calls. I'm not saying to pose as, their doctor and trying to get them on the phone and call their mom and say you have an urgent message or something. Just be friendly, have a friendly conversation. Hey, I'm trying to reach Adam. Any idea where he is? Do you know where his address is? Where is he living? Or if you don't have a phone number, ask, do you have his new phone number? I think a lot of landlords that use that get that information that they're looking for just by picking up the phone, making a call and saying, hey, where are these people?
Sometimes it's just the simple work, just reaching out and make the phone call. You'll be amazed at what you get.
Definitely. And, we've seen it time and time again. Landlords tend to make things harder than they have to be. And, like I said, it could be something as easy as using that address, service requested, making a phone call, whatever it is. There's a lot of things that a landlord can do to track that person down. Doesn't mean you're going to get paid. Obviously, it doesn't guarantee anything, but at least it gives you the satisfaction of knowing that you're getting the information that you need to in their hands, or getting their information to the attorneys, which you may need to do.
Yes. Great. Well, thank you very much, Stephen. I look forward to talking with you tomorrow evening.
All right. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks for listening to Landlord University, and remember to visit rentprep.com/landlordu to see show notes and access free resources like forms and guides. And be sure to check out Jeff Pearson hosting his own hit podcast at thementorimpact.com.